Welcome to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus. Wiley. Y'all hear that? I'm somewhere between Doc Rivers and my homeboy DOC, man. This is real. So I'm going to be the first on TV to chew some medicine gum. Hopefully helping out my voice and my vocal cords. And then post-production, audio team, help your boy out. But I can still think, and I still got these jokes. So let's talk through this, man. Let's start off the show like we start off every show with what's up with that dude. Oh, man. I went to the NFLPA's rookie premiere party sponsored by Fanatics. So y'all know what that means. I got to see all the next level of NFL stars. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, all of them in the building, all of them in attendance, and it was dope. I had one moment in there, because 26 years ago, that was me. Without the ceremony, without all the hoopla, without all that money and that NIL stuff. But that was me, getting drafted, looking forward to the next level, because you already made your dreams a reality. Now it's time to rethink those dreams and reimagine a new reality, right? But I was in there, and I saw Bryce Young. Had to get a picture with him. One, because he's Bryce Young. Two, he's from LA. So I'm like, oh, come on, I got to go chop it up with my boy from LaLiga. Walk up to him, and you know when they getting bombarded, obviously they just kind of like trying to get through it. And I walked up to him, and he looked at me, and he said, man, I grew up watching you, big dog. I'm a fan of you and Sports Nation. I was like, damn, you forget kids were going home after school just to check you out. And we just started chopping it up, got to talk to his father even longer. Craig Young, amazing family, as you guys know, if you've seen on Full Display. So much respect to him. And it was kind of weird for him to flip it on me because obviously I'm a fan of what he does and how he slings it. And he said, dog, fan of you as well. So look forward to staying in touch with him and the family. After that, Saturday, woke up, had a basketball game. I ain't going to talk too long about that. We smoked them dudes. Jaden, my little boy Jaden and MJ. That's a lot to deal with. We look forward to it. Our playoffs are starting in a week, so we'll see how we fare. Other than that day chilled out, all white party. My wife and I got decked in our finest of linens, polyester over here, and then we had to go to SoFi Stadium for an all white party. So when I'm going to the party, obviously I'm decked out, looking like a cloud nine look, and I'm like, where are we going in SoFi to have this party? Because there's no way it's going to be right there on the field. And if it is, it's going to look a mess because we're going to look like little ants out there. It's just too damn big, too much space. Oh my God, was I wrong? We pulled up, tunnel entrance like the players came out, cheerleaders on the side. And then what's them girls and dudes that be having them big old feathers and stuff, and they just be sitting there dancing, looking all fresh and fine. Them went on the field, and they had it all decked out, man. It was a crazy time. Lots of pictures, videos floating around there. Y'all get to see that soon in the show. We had some 40 races. I raced my boy, got smoked. I raced my other boys, got smoked again. It is officially behind me. All this track prowess that I talk about is all Al Bundy now. Oh, man, so I ain't do nothing. After that, woke up, tired as hell. Still had to get up at 7 in the morning. We had our football games. We had a doubleheader. Yeah, football, doubleheader. That was dope. We won them by a combined like 50-0. Teams are doing well right now. I'm kind of getting nervous. Getting to the playoffs, turning into the Boston Celtics or something. So I was like, damn. After that, we just came to the crib, everybody. Little post-game hangout. All the kids swimming. All the adults sipping and just chilling. All right, let's get into this show right now because Glenn Schembechler. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yay. Y'all know Glenn Schembechler. Why? Because that is the son of longtime Michigan head coach Bo Schembechler. Yes. Well, he had to resign from Michigan and his job 3 days after some offensive Twitter posts were discovered. So he just stepped down as Michigan's assistant director of football recruiting. His statement conceded that he engaged in flippant behavior on Twitter. What behavior is not flipping on Twitter? Like, what the hell are you doing? Stating the obvious. Every time you go on Twitter, you know you're about to go through hell. So why not be flippant? Oh, man. So he said, which included, numerous offensive and insensitive posts and liking posts including several suggesting slavery and Jim Crow had the positive effect of strengthening black individuals and families. Wow. Woo! Man, this is the Kyrie clause now. Like, I mean, Kyrie just retweeted or reposted a link or a screenshot of a movie. And now, anything you doing on Twitter, anything you doing on social media, oh, trust me, they coming to get your ass. So, Schembechler, of course, went through a thorough background check during the hiring process, which included, is your name Glenn? Is your dad Bo? Okay, good, all right. Well, we know enough about your background, you're good. Come on, y'all, do better. All right, here's another quote from him. Any words or philosophies that in any way seek to underplay the immeasurable suffering and long-term economic and social inequities that hundreds of years of slavery in the Jim Crow era caused for black Americans is drums wrong, duh. Schembechler said that in a statement which was issued through his PR firm. I was wrong. Really? We must never sanitize morally unsanitary historical behaviors that have hindered the black community or any other community. There are no historical silver linings for the experience of our brothers and sisters. And I thought John Morant could write a fake apology. This sucker here, you liking all these things that's talking positively about slavery and the Jim Crow era, but now you know that there are no historical silver linings. Oh man, ain't nothing worse than seeing somebody who's contrite just because they got caught, right? Anyway, I don't want to kill the dude because it feels like right now the rest of the world is doing that for me. He was most recently an NFL scout. He was with the Vegas Raiders. He was obviously honored and excited to go back to Michigan. And now, 3 days later, guess what happens? Okay, here's a question. Is this cancel culture or is this, nah, he just canceled himself? As simple as that. Because I know right now we're trying to find that line between what is cancel culture. You can't say anything. There is no freedom of speech. Everything is raining in on us and it's getting so tight. Can't even be your true, authentic self. Or is it just, nah, dog, some things you just can't say, some things you just can't do. It's not even about the hypersensitivity that comes from cancel culture. It's about, nah, that was just hella foolish. To me, it's hella foolish. I just don't get the race stuff with people. And I think at times I get misconstrued because I don't give energy to stupid stuff because then I'm like stupid. Like, you know, I'm not here to teach anybody who doesn't want to learn. You want to know why? There's too many people here who want to learn. So I don't let you get in the way of those who want to connect and actually build. Same way I live my life. If somebody is racist, oh, I'm not going to sock them. I ain't going to beat them down. I ain't going to blast. I ain't going to do nothing but dismiss their ass. You know what I mean? And I think we need to get into a collective dismissing of these people so these people can understand the foolishness of their ways. Like you really walk around looking at epidermis tones. You a dummy. So anyway, when someone gets caught privately doing those type of things, either own it so we can understand where you're really coming from, or you're going to be stuck in this situation. Doing one thing and saying another, hoping you get your next gig again. Somebody needs to own it because ain't nobody force your ass to like all that stuff. So now, don't act like you hate it. Coming up next on Never Shut Up, update from the Punt god, Araiza. We got an update from San Diego State, his lawyers, everything involving this case. This was kind of hot button. A lot of you guys love this, so let's talk through this a little more. Next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reese TV. My voice ain't that bad, is it? Is it? Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus. Wiley chewing on some medicine gum. So I don't got that Doc Rivers, man, why they let me go voice. Y'all know I'll be having these weekends. I have these kids. I'm so social. I'm so involved that, hey, gotta chop it up. And this is what gets chopped, my voice. And I want to thank you guys for your viewership on Brinks TV, Reese TV, and your membership into Wiley's World. Look at that, Wiley's World. Yes, this is this week's free giveaway. We'll give it away on Friday. Friday free giveaways. It's a Buffalo Bills jersey. Oh, Bills. Oh, Bills. They never sung that song, but it sounded like they should have. All right, so whoever wants to win this, join the membership on YouTube, Wiley's World. That could be yours. All right, let's get into the story. NFL punter, Punt God. First of all, he need to get back into the league just so we can say Punt God a lot more. Matt Araiza got an update. San Diego State University, which obviously, me being from LA and playing for the Chargers, let's just say I've been on this campus before. All right. They conclude there are no findings against him. Now, be careful of your assumptions off of that headline. Let's do it. They concluded that there are no findings against Matt Araiza after conducting an investigation into allegations of rape and gang rape. Criminal investigation was also conducted with no charges filed, and a civil case remains ongoing in the matter. Quote, while the university cannot provide specific information related to its student disciplinary proceedings and investigations, legal speak is so boring, or specific information related to student records, it can confirm that none of the former students named in the civil suit are now the subject of an active investigation. Yeah. In addition, they are not currently enrolled active students affiliated with any athletics activities. They reserve the right, though, to reinstate investigations based on new developments. Oh, so what was that? What did you just say, Marcellus, all fast and raspy? Basically, what they're saying is, we've been looking at this thing for a while, and we have now formally concluded anyone within our San Diego State University borders, we don't see anything wrong in this situation. All right, so the student conduct investigation proceeded July 2022 after the San Diego Police Department told the university that doing so would no longer interfere with its investigation after initially asking the school to wait. You catch that? So the police like, get out the way, you amateurs. Let me do my damn job. Let me do it right. And then they came back to him finally and said, y'all can look into whatever you want, because so far we haven't found enough. All right. So the night of the alleged rapes was in October 2021. The girl, who was 17 at the time, we don't know her name, that's why we call her girl. And they went through that investigation for 9 months before turning it over to prosecutors. The police did not recommend charges be filed, and the Bills released Araiza on August 27th, 2 days after the lawsuit was filed. So the civil case against Araiza remains ongoing. That's set for October of this year. The attorney for the young lady said that her client did not talk to San Diego State University, reiterating that she was not a student at the university, and the location of the alleged events was not on their campus. Y'all catch that? So they're basically saying everything that they have investigated and saying it is concluded is meaningless. That's an interesting point. It's time to go to our Matlock murder, she wrote. That is a good point, counterpoint to the fact that the headlines would make you say nothing happened. And that's because San Diego State is now concluded in summary the same thing that the police have. We don't have enough evidence. But San Diego State's portion of this is different than obviously the police. They're basically saying no students are involved and none of this happened on our campus. And the lawyer for the girl's like, yeah, that's already known, duh. So that's an interesting point. Like, you didn't really move the needle by making this. All right. No further investigations into Araiza are ongoing. And Araiza submitted a claim against the school for damage to his reputation through the California State University Office of the Chancellor. Now, he is saying y'all went out there and obviously damaged my name, which could obviously led to him getting released by the Buffalo Bills based on insufficient evidence and untimeliness. Oh, man. A lot of this is going on. He also filed that claim to preserve the statute of limitations. All right. I love this case because I think, like everybody, we're always seeking justice. And there are a couple ways you can seek it. Always prosecute the ones who are guilty, do the proper investigations. But there's also one that is starting to bubble up, and maybe Duke Lacrosse, one of the poster situations for this, is when they actually condemn or try to prosecute someone and that person's innocent, right? We've seen case after case where someone gets out of jail or prison after DNA is surfaced, and now 30 years of their life gone, 20 years of their life gone. But that's not just that. It's this. Araiza would never get his name back ever. Let me just be the first to tell you. Without Google, anytime I hear Araiza, I'm immediately thinking of this situation. And I'm going to presume his innocence, but that's not what occurred in reality. So now, every person that meets Araiza that knows something about him is probably going to know this. So now he has to convert negatives to positives just by saying hello. That is messed up. Like, our country's founded on you're innocent to proven guilty. How come we can't walk lockstep with that in terms of mantra? Like, to me, it's easy. Maybe because I've been in the public light. Maybe because I've been falsely accused. Maybe because I've been lied on. But who hasn't been lied on? And there's nothing worse than somebody lying on you and you can't prove that they lying or prove it fast enough. Or you still got to deal with people who are believing the accusation. This apology is not loud enough. The accusation roared through America. Everybody was talking about the Punt guy, talking about Araiza in that respect. Feel bad for the dude. He's too young, lost his career, or at least his job. Hopefully he gets his career back. And then every single person is going to always have to know this. And worse, his family. Worse, his future kids, grandkids. That's who Papa was? Nah, according to all of this research, according to all these investigations, that's not who Papa was. But perception is now reality. Coming up next on Never Shut Up, what is wrong with y'all people out there? We're going to leave America. Let's go to Real Madrid. They got some issues over there too. Oh man, hate crimes is going on and complaints over racial abuse. Let's talk through it next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Rees TV. Oh, I'm going to bring us together, y'all. We're going to be good, people. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus, Wiley. Isn't it weird? My voice gets stronger as the show goes on. I don't know how that works, but anyway, I'm a preserver still chewing this medicine gum and give out this jersey to any member on Wiley's World YouTube. So thank you guys for supporting your boy. Membership just continues to climb. The giveaway is going to continue to come. And thanks for your viewership on Brinks TV and Rees TV. Right now, let's talk about hate. Who was that, Chappelle? Real Madrid. They filed a hate crime complaint over Vinicius' racial abuse. Oh, man. Let's talk through it. Real Madrid. Everybody's heard of them. Yeah, I know the first time I did, I was like, Real Madrid. No, just kidding. Real Madrid for sure. Filed a complaint with Spanish hate crime prosecutors over the racist abuse suffered by Vinicius Jr. in their 1-0 defeat at Valencia on Sunday. Not Magic Mountain, y'all, either, over there. While the president of the country's football federation said, quote, Spain has a problem with racism. I'm going to stop right here. It's interesting because I've been to Spain before, and it just highlights something that is interesting to me. A lot of times I tell people I've only had like 1 or 2 issues with racist behavior, but I've never had to deal with racism. if you catch the difference. So they always push back. It's because you're Marcellus, you're a football player, you're popular, famous, whatever. And it makes me always say, nah, that's not the reason. But I have been to Spain. And in my time in Spain, not a sniff of racism in the air was I being taken care of because of my privilege. Oh, Mr. Wiley, here you go. Or I just didn't stay there long enough and play no soccer. I don't know, but it's just always interesting when people hear your experience. And your experience is your expertise. So I'm like, I'm an expert in Spain and racism because not a single soul looked at me like that. Not a single soul confronted me. Not a single person was rude to me. People are going out their way to be nice. But is that the way for everybody? Obviously not. So the LaLiga match and Marcellus was stopped during the second half after the Brazil international identified, check this out, a fan in the crowd behind the Valencia goal as having racially abused him. Damn, in a stadium of people screaming, boo, I believe, all that. You heard somebody call you out in a racially abusive way. Damn, it must have been real. After discussions between Vinicius, referee, and Madrid coach, the game continued. Of course it continues. The world keeps spinning. It's crazy with racism, man. People still be rolling, acting like, oh, what you mean? Until obviously their job or money is taken away. With fans getting warned over the stadium's public address system about racist abuse. According to UEFA's anti-racism protocol. I love that they got that lets you know they got problems over there. Anti-racism protocol at a game. We have all been to games before, especially football games. There's a fight every single one. I have not been to a football game yet, and the Yellow Jackets didn't have to work. However, I have never in my life, mi vida, heard somebody have to get on the PA system. First down. By the way, let's respect each other in here and make sure no one is racist and no one hates black people, white people, brown people, yellow people. All y'all people just be good. Like, what the hell? That's what's going on in Spain. You imagine in a family-friendly environment it's supposed to be. You got your kids there and they hear and don't be racist. Woo! People got problems out there. All right, so Real Madrid considers that such attacks also constitute a hate crime. Therefore, it's filed the relevant complaint with the state prosecutor's office. Okay, this is a perfect time for me to give you one experience related to athletics that has to deal with racism. I've said on record before, I have not dealt with racism. This is as close as I get. I played for the Chargers. I had an excursion. You know the excursion's the gigantic truck, godly, 3 miles a gallon, and that was on the highway, sucker here. And I had 3 rows of seats and like 300 speakers in there. I mean, Master P days bumping. And I remember coming home and being real ignorant on purpose because I was 25. I didn't care. I mean, bumping, like playing your sound super loud was the thing to do. Hey, I had $5 in my pocket, why not? I didn't respect my neighbors as much as I should because 1, I was young and they were old, and 2, I didn't want to get to know them because everybody that wanted to get to know me always ended it with not a goodbye, but can I get some tickets? Or can you take a picture with my niece? And I'm like, all right, not y'all too. I could do that at work. I could do that when I'm in the public's eye, but then when I come home, let's chill. So I wasn't too neighborly. One time I came home and I remember having to get to my mailbox, go in the mailbox. So normally I would open the car door, and you know when you bumping and you open up the car door, oh, it's a whole different sound system. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, I had all, people in LA heard me in San Diego. It was loud and I loved it. But I shouldn't have done it. But who cares? It ain't illegal. It's just like, yo, it's illegal now, but it wasn't then. So I'm at the mailbox taking my time, opening it up, looking at letters and stuff, whatever, get back in. And when I get back in, I hear something. You know, when you bumping and you hear something, it's like, can't tell what is what. Was that the background? Was that Silk the Shocker? You know what I'm saying? Was that C Murder or was that somebody else yelling at me? So I hit the button real quick. And as soon as I hit the button to pause it, this is how old we are, pause it. You know what I'm saying? I heard, monkey! And I was like, And it was my old ass decrepit neighbor. And I seen him, he used to be the one, looking out the blinds like that and just doing this. Close his blind. I was like, damn. I ain't taking it racial because why? Now he was white and I'm black. That don't mean that's the reason. He could be like, man, this young mug. He could be like, man, this loud fool. He could be like, man, I can't stand the Chargers. Or he could be like what he really was, what y'all thinking. Like, nah, Wiley, ain't none of that. Man, look at this Negro. And he meant another N-word. So I heard that and immediately it came to me and it didn't trigger me because I know it can trigger you and it should probably trigger you. I said, nah, he's trying to catch me slipping. I go over there and respond. Next thing I know, I'm in trouble. And more importantly, whatever he called me, some people gonna think of me. So guess what I did? I told our director of security, who worked with the FBI, and let's just say his house looked different and his behavior was way different. And that's how I handled that situation. Sounds like in this one, they're trying to do the same thing through complaint and through actually proper protocol to try and get rid of something so damn dumb and dangerous. All right, coming up next on Never Shut Up, time to play some basketball. Heat take a 3-0 lead. It's wraps. Damn, both series are wraps. On the Celtics at the depth and heart shine through. So let's have a conversation. What would you rather have, more talent or a better team? Oh, let's talk through it next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reach TV. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley, thanking you for your viewership on Brinks TV and Reach TV and your membership in the Wiley's world. Look at that. Free giveaway. Swag giveaways on Fridays. Whoever the lucky winner is going to be a Wiley's World YouTube member. So make sure you're one of them. Get one of these Let's Go Buffalo, Let's Go Buffalo jerseys, autograph, sign, whatever. Hey mama, whatever you want me to write, I got you guys. And speaking of what's written, this series is over in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. Let's talk about the Heat though. Let's stay in there because a lot of Laker fans are mad at me because the only time I talk about the Lakers is when they lose. Well, I could talk a lot right now about the Lakers and I'm not. See? The Clipper fan in me is being restrained to not laugh at your demise because you guys did go farther than we did. So respect to you Lakers out there. And we are keeping your reservation open at Cabo. We'll wake up early at the airport, pick y'all up because y'all be there in a couple days, right? We got the pool chairs reserved for you. We know what the resort looks like. We got the lay of the land. Come on, Laker fans. Come on. But I ain't going to talk bad about y'all when y'all losing. I'm going to talk good about the Heat because they're winning. They have a 3-0 lead on the Celtics. Damn. Boston, what happened? Let's talk about it. 8-seeded Heat. Remember playing Heat? Continue their improbable run through the Eastern Conference playoffs, a stretch that is now just one game away from the NBA Finals after Spoelstra. That dude, I'm gonna hire me a videographer, a film study dude to help me coach my little itty bitties. Because damn, Spoelstra is a beast of a coach. His team embarrassed the second-seeded Celtics, 128-102. We all watched it. They did so by relying on a bunch of other cats. They're itty bitties. They're others, right? Younger players who are embracing the moment. And of course, they still don't and will not have Tyler Hero. What the hell? Talking about balling. Gabe Vincent went out there, had 29 points, 11 to 14 from the field. Hello. In the postseason, been defined by obviously We can't start this conversation without talking about Jimmy Butler, his brilliance, how great he's been, Adebayo, how steady he's been. Man, catching the lobs, everything, just a presence in the paint, offensively and defensively, beasting. We got to talk about Duncan Robinson having 22 points off the bench. Caleb Martin, 18 points. All those guys collectively set the tone. What's amazing about this is they don't always have to go through Jimmy Butler. They don't always have to tax Jimmy Butler. Even though you know Jimmy Butler always up for the task of being taxed. That sucker there, man. He is, talking about a man of character, a man of integrity on the court. I ain't talking about like how he live his life. I'm talking about he gonna do everything and all the right things when he steps on that basketball court. It's fun to watch, right? Everybody thought the Celtics was going to win. Barkley, every game is like, nah, Celtics winning the next one. They winning the next one. They winning the next one. No, they not. They not winning any of these games. Maybe a gentleman's sweep out of respect for themselves. They might get one more. I doubt that. Okay, let's talk about how Adebayo says they're believing in one another and believing that we can get a win, believing that we can beat the number one team in the league. Number 2 seed, whatever. You know, belief is real, and we got a will to win. All right, my man Vincent also said the key to him being great right now is be as present as possible. Team looks more unified. Team looks like they're more together and have a greater sense of pride. All of that's coming. Spoelstra even talked about it. He said Jimmy and Bam both fueling it. All right. They're just infusing the other guys with confidence. But then they also know that they have to impact everybody else on the roster. And you know, we talk about it all the time. You want to breathe life into other guys and ultimately enjoy someone else's success. But that takes great emotional stability. Woo! Spoelstra, you hit me right where it hurts. You know there's a lot of pressure and voices and noise coming at you from a lot of different ways. But those guys get it. And you're seeing some of the role players really grow and be able to expand their games. That only happens if your star players really want that. Yo, Spoelstra got the cheat code. He got all the Cliff's Notes, like the whole bookstore of Cliff's Notes. That is amazing what he just said right there. He's talking about how leadership truly looks and is example. Like the first domino that falls is leadership. And it's something that I talk about with my players, and it's something I talk about all the time in terms of being a role model is not just a privilege, it's a responsibility. And if you're a leader on a team, you are that team's role model, right? I look at my son, especially in football. I'm like, you know these kids are looking at you. I want them to understand that. I was like, it's happened so many times. We get in a huddle or it's a tight game. I'm like, okay, guys, we're about to run a play, and they interrupt me. It's like, give it to MJ. Like, why? Because they're in a situation where they know who is leading them in production. But that doesn't always mean the one who produces the most is emotionally stable enough to also be that leader, right? Some guys are just the best player, but are they a leader? And according to Spoelstra, and according to everybody who watches basketball, we can get it. Jimmy Butler is a leader, and Bam is doing his thing as well. But that's amazing. To be so open that you're allowing others to now step on you to become who they can be, right? Step on your shoulders, right? You know, get into a situation where they feel greater than they were because you, the great, has allowed that. Oh, this is so deep. This is so real. It happens all the time where it's funny growing up broke, growing up on welfare. We were stingy. Everybody was stingy in part. Because you ain't got that much. So stingy looks different. You're like, nah, I ain't giving you that. Why? Because I ain't going to have nothing else. I get it. But even the mindset when we were abundant in something, it felt like we still were just like, maybe it was the fear and anxiety of losing that, even though we had a little at that time, right? You're just always scared and terrified and triggered by poverty. And that happens to me. But then you get around people who have abundance and means, and they're so open. I remember the first time I got invited to somebody's like house party, and I ain't talking about like our house parties. I'm talking about like a big, nice mansion, and they inviting 500 people, and you like all these people coming? Because I used to do it, and I used to throw parties too. But I did it with a different intention. I was just trying to say, how many girls could come? How many girls could stay? You know what I mean? But I remember I got invited, and I was like, this dude just gonna tell me where he lives? I was like, I don't know him. He know of me, and I know who he is, but all right. And I always thought it was weird. But the higher you climb up, I swear, even though it's less space, people are more open typically. They're like, oh yeah, come over. Oh yeah, you can use my car. Oh yeah, you can use my boat. Oh yeah. Sometimes even, oh, you're going to the East Coast? Won't you just hop on the jet with them? These people are, I'm like, these people growing all of these people crazy. But now you understand that's what we got to live in that abundant mindset, right? You can go back to the holy books, they talk about that, let alone when you don't have anything. Who was the comedian that said, you know who needs prenups? Not people with millions and millions of dollars, somebody with only $5, right? You take $250, I'm hurting. So I think that was Chris Rock. Point being, let's all have an abundant mindset because Spoelstra and these dudes have now opened up the real conversation. Talent versus team, right? More talent versus stronger unit team. What wins? For me, I still say talent. I don't give a damn what y'all say about. 9 times out of 10, the more talented team gonna win, even if they bullshit, even if they playing around, right? I've been in games before where I was like, oh, we better than them. We get an early lead, we don't even care. There's nothing you can do, right? It's like the little rascals, dude just trying to fight you and you just holding back like, all right, whatever, whatever you're gonna do. So I always take more talent, but moments like this makes you realize neither one is absolute, right? You can pick one and say this one wins more, and I would think talent wins more. Jordan, right? Kobe, Duncan, that's the talent, right? LeBron, you see it, like Kareem, like Magic, like the talent. Don't give me the Pistons, even though they were talented, but that was a better unit team. Pistons, give me another one. Maybe the Heat, Pistons. I'm like, nah, miss me, dog. It's always talent for me. What do you guys think, right? And culture, obviously, is what decides if that talent's going to take root, or culture is what dictates how that team unit becomes so whole. I always tell cats, hey, if we want to get into a fight, what's going to win, this or this? I beat that finger up, and that's the Heat beating up the Celtics. All right, y'all. Y'all know how we end every show with a Wileyism. Damn, I am reckless. Why am I singing with this bad voice? Success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Ooh! If y'all take this one from Winston Churchill, right? Oh my God. If you can continue to go and get knocked down and remind yourself, not only am I getting up, but I'm getting up with the right attitude. My attitude's up with my body. Woo! It is on. You will be successful. Trust me, because that's what separates everybody. It's the perseverance, and it's also the personality that you take on. Give you an example. Who hasn't dated the fine girl that dated too many dudes she didn't like? And now, when you meet her, she ain't her no more. She is the girl who used to date all these dudes she hated. And now you got to hear all this effect. Like, why are you so compromised by bad experiences in the past? Come back renewed. Come back with enthusiasm. Bad relationship, failure. It's okay. Don't lose your enthusiasm, because then all of a sudden you don't look so good. And I ain't talking about your prettiness. I'm talking about how you look bad when you talk. Bad behavior, bad attitude. Bad. I've been there before too. You know, you get into a situation where you get cut, you get released, right? You better be pumped. You still got an opportunity somewhere else. Instead of walking in there, man, tripping. Man, they over there tripping. They don't respect me, blah, blah, blah. Coach is tripping. You got to walk into your situations, even after failure, consecutive failures, with enthusiasm. Because success is walking from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. That'll do it for today's episode of my voice gone. Let me stop. Never shut up, man. I'll be back stronger tomorrow, but I can't leave y'all. I can't let y'all down. I show up to work hurt. I play football, damn it. Who want to win this jersey? This is the first jersey I ever wore in the NFL. You see why it's clean? Because it was my whole rookie year. I ain't doing a damn thing. Love you guys out there. Talk to you next week. Next week, tomorrow. Peace.